Hey, I don't really know what happened with this episode. It just, I got a little out of control. I rambled on. We went to Seattle, I guess, technically. I talked about Allie. I got real pissy towards the end of it. I don't know. I'm in a mood. I think I should have eaten lunch before we recorded this, but I don't know. I kind of had a lot of fun. It's good to get this stuff out of your system. And if you have any emails or comment concerns, send it to Peter because I'm not answering it. And I love you all. EFFY, weekendateffys.com. EFFY lives, Low Sky Dance. And just go get in a fight for once in your life so you have to feel what it fucking feels like to have your flesh tethered together with muscle and bone and tendon, you freaks. It's the beginning of a new dawn. It's the beginning of a new day. Have you been thinking about your future? Have you been thinking about what the future holds for you? Have you been focused on your goals? Have you been distracted? I'm not going to waste a lot of time here because we have a lot of questions for this week. We have a few questions for this week. And we have some fun things ahead on this episode where we're going to take a journey through the end of the year, a journey through the scam portal. We're going to take a journey to Seattle. We're going to take a Jersey to New Jersey, a journey to New Jersey, a Jersey to New Jersey, a Jersey. If she shall, she shore. Can you even do that? Can you even say it that fast?
Sally shall, no.
Sally shall seashore, seashells. Okay, so that's how you warm up in our world. Peter, how are you today?
I'm here.
We are adjusting a whole new... Time isn't real, right? Are you finally on my plate?
Oof, it's definitely not.
Time is fake. You know what's real? Your body telling you when and when not. And so today we're going to do our absolute best. We're bringing you entertainment. We're bringing you magic. We're bringing you stories, behind the scenes gossip, incredible tales of, running into celebs. And my dog's going to scream. Are you going to scream? Hey, real quick. If you want to scream, be on the show. But you can't be out of frame and screaming. Peter, me and Lucy have been getting to spend a lot more time together over this holiday season. And I just want to let you know, I figured it out because it used to be like, I'm frustrated. I can't understand what she's saying. There's only 3 things she's going to bark for. And it's, I want to be fed. I want to go out.
I want to be
pick
held
me
like
up.
a
I want to
baby.
be a baby. And having her, I was playing Star Wars Outlaws again last night, and she was giving me the business a little bit. And I just picked her up. I sat her in my lap, as so, and played between her arms with her arms settled over me. And she just stayed there for like half an hour. It was awesome. So it's nice to know, like, hey, I figured you out. And now she will get into position quicker for me to pick her up. Like, I will stand up. She will be turning around and ready to be picked up like a baby. She sometimes goes gooey spaghetti, like 2 seconds too fast and starts to fall forward. But I have to tell you, I haven't been going to the gym a lot lately. So this has been fun to like just test my strength. And I tested my strength this week in many ways. We'll get into that. But she is a larger dog than Bebop, a little bit. Now he's got a big old donk, big old corgi ass. That's what he's got. No offense. But she is she's like a structure. And she's also... All 3 of the dogs, I like to check how sturdy they are.
She's both a solid, a liquid, and a gas.
That's great. She is. She's definitely a gas, and she'll scare herself with it.
That's the fun. She is such a lady to where every time she farts, she pretends like she has no idea what just happened and will not.
Oh, goodness. But she's the dog who likes to be checked how sturdy she is the most. Where you just give him a nice little tap on the chest, tap on the back, tap on the ass, and you go, that's a sturdy dog. Oh yeah, she loves it. She loves it. She says, tell me how sturdy I am. And she can be played like a little bit of a bongo drum. She loves it. So we've had a really good time bonding and having fun together. And we've also had a really fun time doing this game called Bebop Can Go Outside for a little bit. And then we just chill. Girls' night. I think Cranberry might be coming over for the weekend. Oh. So we'll be seeing her. And she's been gaining her strength and confidence in her new, I don't want to call it a wheelchair. I want to call it like her robot suit. She's getting around, and then we got her a different one too that's a little more off-road that's on the way. So
Cranberry's mech suit.
Her mech suit. So before we get into all of that, let's look into the vault. Our people on Patreon, the sale has ended to the new Patreon subscribers. Thank you. And to the old Patreon subscribers, thank you. And to people who haven't subscribed to Patreon, it's okay. You can listen for free if you want. But if you could, at least, if you don't have any money for Patreon, if you could at least like and favorite and subscribe and follow and review and tell Nancy. She's been going through a lot, and I think this could be something that, gets her mind off, what's happening in the school system and what she can't do about it. So tell somebody, tell a friend. Weekendateffys.com, though. You can go ahead and get on the Patreon now at full price. I prefer it. Please sign up at full price. I'm going to promote it even more now that the sale's over. Full price. There's no code, and it's all going to go to helping us create a whole new world, just like they did in, was that Aladdin? Aladdin, yes.
Okay, let's kick off with
Patreon questions.
Question from our friends at Movie John. What is your favorite theme park that you've been to? Dollywood, Kennywood, Mini Europe, Tokyo Disney?
Wait, what's Kennywood? Is that a real park?
Kennywood is a amusement park in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania.
I've never been to Kennywood. Here's what I'm going to say, folks, okay? And this is true of, as I've revisited, things from my childhood, revisited stories, media, places from my childhood. They are seen through the lens of, that childhood view. But going back in time, I must tell you that my most formative and favorite theme park experience, and I've been to most of the Disneys. I haven't been to Disney Paris. I've been to a lot of the Six Flags. I've been to amusement parks in Australia and Japan. Tweetsy Railroad. Are you familiar with Tweetsy Railroad?
No.
Okay. Let me tell you about Tweetsy Railroad. Tweetsy Railroad, I believe, is near Appalachian State University. Tweetsy Railroad is built around an old-timey indigenous versus white colonizers, cowboys and Indians type story. Mm-hmm. It is an old-fashioned place, and it's the only place my grandparents would take me and my brother. This is my dad's family. It is a theme park in Watauga County, North Carolina. Now, I want to kind of go over some of the items there, but the main railroad was a railroad ride that would go around the whole park, and it would take you through live actors acting out scenes of the Old West and the indigenous people trying to live. They would run on the train, and to me, that's like, I think also formative to my joy of pro wrestling, where the acting is in your face. Uh-huh. The acting is unpredictable. If you're on a train and let's say they're not dressed in a full costume with snap, crackle, fake guns, and someone runs on the train, it's scary. And when you're 6 and also they're dressed and shooting guns and stuff, it's like, it's incredible and it's crazy. Now they are opening again this year on the April 5th season. So they close for the season, the winter season. I want to look. Tweetsy Railroad still open. Plan your visit. Let's explore the park, the rides of the park. And there also was a large ski lift type item that would take you from the main western world of the park to the carnival fairgrounds part of the park called the Country Fair. I mean, they got chair lifts, they got, Ferris wheels, tilt-a-whirls, bull whips, barrels, buckaroo drops, tornadoes, turnpike cruisers. They got all these things. And if I look at this, it looks like a place for only like 7-year-olds and before. And I just want to say, if I went back, it would not be good. I would have to go back with children. And these are the all ages rides. Now they have live dancing shows too. So Tweetsy Railroad's my answer. What's a favorite theme park you've been to?
So in Kenya, there was this kind of half put together inflatable pirate themed water park that had a like kind of smallish wooden pirate ship in the middle.
Okay.
And then like an inflatable pirate man that you would walk up.
Is he big?
Yeah, like really big.
Okay.
And then there would be a guy up there with a hose spraying it down, and you would go down and land in a treasure chest. And that was kind of the extent of the whole thing.
That sounds pretty fun, though. Did you feel like there was enough for you there, or was it just you hadn't been exposed to so much?
I mean, that's just kind of what it was.
That's
you know?
awesome.
Yeah.
The treasure chest. Mm-hmm. Was there water in the treasure chest?
Well, there was the guy with the hose.
Okay.
So you'd go down the slide.
Okay.
Into the treasure chest.
But what's in the treasure chest?
Nothing. It's an inflatable treasure chest.
So you just slide down the water and then you bounce in?
Now, there was a crocodile or an alligator. I'd have to imagine it was a crocodile because it's Africa.
Of course.
And you would get in its mouth and then go down the back, but no guy with a hose.
Okay.
So it would kind of burn a little bit as you went down the
You'd have to wear long pants for that one.
Well, I mean, no, because you had to wear a swimsuit so you could go down the treasure chest.
Well, then you got to really get those legs up. They call that
it was called
Happy
Jolly
Baby.
Roger.
The Jolly Roger. Do you think the Jolly Roger's still open?
Probably. I don't know. Let's see. Look up the Jolly Roger, Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay, this is great. And it's listed as a restaurant and theme park and has 37 likes. Wow, this is a thing. Looks like 2022 was the last time they promoted anything on the page. But it does seem to be still active in some capacity as a fun splash zone community
center. Is it next to Bombas of Kenya?
Let's look. Next to Mambas of Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. It's perfect if you have young, energetic children, and it's safe and spacious, and it's on Langata North Road.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. This is all. Great. Am I giving you? I'm giving you some vibes back.
Yeah.
You know, re-explore your youth now. All right. I don't know if you had trouble in your youth. Re-explore your youth. Re-explore the places you went. Do you want to go to Six Flags anytime soon?
No. Our Six Flags is cursed. A lot of people die there.
I haven't.
This is true because you're here now.
Yeah. They closed down the Joker ride though.
Yeah.
And that's the one that was.
I've been on that Joker ride.
Yeah, I have too. It's great.
It was when I was in high school. I did like charity work with this. It was this really cool charity. It was basically there was someone that had cancer in high school like multiple times. Like it just kept coming back.
Some people, they have a rougher time with that.
And basically, I'd realized that none of the all of the support groups that existed were for parents of like kids and teens with cancer, but not for the actual like kids
and teens.
So they set up this thing where it was basically a like 4 to 5 day retreat, just like filled with a bunch of really fun stuff, like for kids.
Yeah, just so they can escape and not deal with this shit.
And so I was like, I was one of the chaperones whenever you would do it, and it was like to them it was the best part of their year whenever it would come up. So you would basically stay up the entire week with them, just doing whatever it was that they wanted to do. And one of the things was you would get Six Flags exit passes. So you would take limousines to Six Flags.
And you just go through the exit up onto the ride.
They would all the characters would do this big like red carpet thing.
Do they have the little guy there?
No, they didn't have him.
They said that no one knows who that was.
No one knows who it was?
Yeah.
And
Bill Skarsgård.
So then we would go do all the rides and everything like as many times as you want. Well, like it was you would go on the Joker ride and kids would like black out because they're in the middle of like cancer treatment. And
yeah, it's pretty rough. It's and like it's not like the ride's so crazy. It's like the ride is not really like planned that well.
No.
So it's like a herky jerky excitement feel.
So it would just like
wow, I'm the Joker.
These kids out of consciousness for a second. You would get done and they'd be like, "Let's go again," and you just do the ride.
Can I black out for 2 minutes? Of course. Batman can't help you with that, but the Joker can give you some special laughing gas.
We broke the record for the most consecutive amount of times on the lazy river, like the
like boat thing.
Yeah, we did it 25 times.
But doesn't that make you wet?
Yeah.
Did y'all just get on and walk right back around?
No. We stayed on it.
Oh, you just
keep
going. We would
get to the end and we would say again.
And they go, yeah, and I'm telling them
whatever.
no.
Yeah.
Wow, so you've overstayed your welcome a little there too.
Yeah, they realized that I didn't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
So they would just make me ride stuff insane amount of times.
And you would go,
to where the lazy river thing was honestly because I think they started feeling bad because they kept making me ride the Goliath and the Superman over and over and over again, and just kind of like sitting watching my reaction to what was happening.
Goliath rules.
that
Superman
was
rules. I'm going back to Six Flags. Sorry, I gotta go there.
Johnny went the day before the kid got his head lopped off.
Well, he shouldn't have been down there in the pit. Okay. Now, they got rid of the Batman stunt show, but there's a different stunt show there now?
Oh, really?
I think.
Huh.
Hey, Siri, what's the current stunt show at Six Flags Over Georgia? I want to know.
Oh, we got to hop on that class action Apple lawsuit.
Oh, what happened?
Siri listening to everybody's conversations.
Oh, how do we get in?
I'll figure. I'm gonna do that.
Wait, if we talk about it, is she gonna block my access?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm sorry, Hal, I can't do that. Hal 5000, wasn't that the name? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all holiday puppet shows right now. Oh yeah, now it's called Red, White, and Tunes at the Daredevil Dive Stage. It's a patriotic dance party now featuring stunts and Looney Tunes. So, no Batman. That was sick. They had the Batmobile that would drive in. You remember that?
What's your favorite amusement park, theme park live show that you've seen? I remember the Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that was a sick one.
Being really
they had
cool.
the Waterworld one for a while that
never got to
wrestler
see that
Christopher
one.
Daniels was performing in. I didn't get to see it with Christopher Daniels, but it was happening. It's a real show. And Kevin Costner, not approving.
I saw the Terminator right before they closed.
Oh, I've only seen the videos of the Terminator one. We were talking earlier about Captain EO with Michael Jackson. What if that was a live one? That'd be crazy. The Terminator when the guy came out of the stage, right? I think I have seen that one in person. I think we did that one. It was sick. Maybe I'm just making things up. Maybe I'm conflating things with other things.
It's where you go in and they give you like the tour of Cyberdyne or whatever, and then you go into the theater.
I think I might be conflating
I saw it
ideas.
a couple of months before they closed it, and not all of the Terminators were functioning.
That's okay. We didn't need them all to
And-
function. That's
yeah.
actually, it's a helpful sign for us that Skynet won't win.
The guy playing Arnie was I don't know, maybe he was just like the fill-in replacement that day.
Kind of like when you go see Chris Angel.
Yeah.
The matinee show is
Yeah.
like Chris Angel with 3 S's.
Yeah.
Christoph Angel. Hey guys, it's me, Chris Angel. I'm going to show you my magic tricks. Can you believe I'm a man freak? Yeah, you're not getting Chris Angel at the matinee. We've talked about that. That's fine. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah.
Oh my
How
God.
cool is Ricky Martin? He's one I've always wanted to meet. That's
Baby, let me tell you something. It got crazy back in the day. It was wild. You kids have it good now. You don't know what you'd be walking into. Ricky Martin's the coolest person of all time. My favorite, he won't think this is funny at all, but one of my favorite Ricky Martin moments is him going, tweeting about, well, gosh, I just saw Iron Claw, and the story is not true. There were more dead brothers than that. And I'm going, Ricky, you were there, I know, but like America can only handle so much. At a certain point, they think the story was fake. If we have 5 dead brothers,
I do believe that is literally what the filmmaker said was we would have stayed true to the story, but it honestly
didn't even
got
talk about Chris.
unbelievable at a certain point.
yeah, it's the first time though when we were gonna have a match together. I dropped him off at the airport. I parked the rental car. We may have discussed this before, and I sat down with him like he was my dad. And he said, go get me a Coca-Cola. And so I got us both Coca-Colas, and we sat down at the airport. And he said, you ever think about toning it down? You know, you're a good worker. Tone it down a little bit. I've been told that a lot in my life before. And I said, Ricky, do I look like I want to be poor? And then he requested a match for me, and I dyed my hair blonde to match him, and the rest is history. So God bless Ricky Morton. I need to get back up to Tennessee to see him. I was talking to Kerry this weekend about that. He said, when are we going to get you back up to Tennessee? I said, I'll do it. I'm in. I'm about it. Tennessee wrestling's the most fun. They get into it. They're wild up there. It's a legendary place, and you know, Memphis wrestling legends like Andy Kaufman. You know, they really changed the business up there in Tennessee. You know about Andy Kaufman?
He was a wrestler?
Yeah, you don't know about it when he
No,
did all
I
his
didn't know
wrestling?
that. I didn't-
Wait, really?
No.
Ah, really?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Him and Jerry Lawler had a huge feud that went on, I believe, on Letterman or Johnny Carson. You know, Kaufman claiming he had his neck broken by Jerry Lawler, and he had been going around defeating women in these publicity matches, saying he was the women's champion of the world. No woman could ever beat him, but he was giving women equality by offering them a chance. And he would have these wrestling matches with women. And I think Jerry Lawler ended up taking feud with it. And they had a feud. And he said after he got pile driven that Jerry Lawler broke his neck. And they were building up this feud. And he was the most despised, doesn't take wrestling serious heel. And Jerry Lawler, I believe, took him out. Incredible stuff. Andy Kaufman, a wrestling legend. God, root beer. I love root beer. I love the flavors of the roots. You know what roots they use? Is sassafras a root, or is that just a flavor concept?
I think it is a root.
Sassafras. I like a good tinge of sassafras in my root beer. That's what I like. So, wait, what was the question? Oh, it was about Ricky Morton. Ricky Morton probably knew Andy Kaufman. I would bet on it. Ricky Morton has also told me some of the funniest stories of all time. I'll never be able to reveal them, including one, though, about Ric Flair falling off his boat, which is one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. And I can't, it's not my story to tell. And, maybe he'll fall off a boat again. My brother still sees Ric Flair all the time in Tampa. They go to the same bar. I don't know what to tell you. I said, how's he look? He goes, not happy to be here.
God.
Yeah, well, I mean, people keep coming up to him and going, hey, picture me, and they don't care about him and they don't know him, and they've just been told by someone else that they need to get a picture with this person.
Right.
And at what point do you go, who are you? He's probably exactly where he needs to be. Close to hell.
What's the grocery store you fight in?
What?
Trade your blows.
What's the grocery store you suck off guys in the bathroom in? Trade your blows. That's adult humor. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going to have to mark this as a mature episode. Hold up. You ready? If it's a mature episode, I can say bad words, right?
Every episode is a mature episode.
Horse cum. What? Is it? Are they all mature episodes?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, change that. I want people to find out what they're getting into.
Okay.
But by surprise.
Okay.
It's not mature anymore.
Okay.
This is... If your baby can watch Godzilla vs. Kong, then your baby can also hear what I have to say about the rights of Americans to Medicare for all. That shouldn't be a mature concept. Okay? That shouldn't be crazy. It's time to fight back. It's time to put it on our hands. What other questions do we have, Peter, from our beautiful Patreon people?
That.
Donovan, thank you.
AMC, Regal, or is there an independent movie theater you prefer going to?
If money wasn't a factor, I'd be at the Plaza all the time. I'd still go to AMC occasionally, and I'd go to Regal for the 4DX and large screen closest to IMAX you can get.
Yeah.
AMC for me is at the top right now because I don't have to pay more than $23 a month to sign up. Do you have the pass with New Jersey and California added?
No.
I do. It's very beneficial. But I think
How
Regal
much
theaters
more do they make you pay for that?
$2.
Okay.
It's $2 a month more to be able to watch movies in California and New Jersey, which sounds crazy, but as you can imagine, I'm often in California and New Jersey. But I really like the Regal setup. I really like the Regal snack bar. I don't like that they don't have the Coca-Cola Freestyles because they're a Pepsi brand. And I love the AMC Coca-Cola Freestyle. And I love the Plaza because it is, you can feel the, what is it called when it's not ghosts that haunt it, but it's like old cum, like haunted by the spirits of the seed. My mom needs to turn off this episode this week. I've lost my mind. Yeah, I love all theaters and especially old ones. I'm always mad when I have 2 hours available and I know it's going to take 2.5 to 3 to see a movie somewhere, and I have to just go to the venue instead.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just start being late. I'm tired of it. I'm going to be late. What's wrong with that? I'm going to be late to the show. I'll be there for my match, but I don't need to be there. If I'm in a building more than 6 hours, once again, 2025, I'm just making it. I'm confirming it. If I'm in the building more than 6 hours, you owe me more money. Go fuck yourself. And also, give me $50.
Give me $50.
On top of everything else. Just because I want to go taste the food in the area. I want to see what's up. I want to go have a selection of pastries in the district. I want to try a falafel place. I don't fucking know. I'm not a zoo animal. Right?
Right.
I need to go out in the world. I need to see what the world has to offer for me. Okay. Wow. Thank you.
Top 5 movies from 2024 that we should watch if we haven't yet, in no particular order. It's from Julie.
Julie, we just were talking about this a second ago. If you haven't watched them, like, and they have to be from 24. Huh.
You know what's funny? I didn't even put Dune 2 on my list.
It's a
I
great
forgot
film.
That was this year.
I think they were Dune too much. Dune 4 has been confirmed. I'm thinking even in weirder senses where I think you should see Baby Girl. Like, I'm not going to pick the main blockbusters here. I think you should see Baby Girl. I think you should see Honora. I think you should see Queer. I think you should see Cuckoo. And I think you should see Monkey Man. Those are my 5 I'm going to pick. And I stole them kind of from what Peter was saying earlier on the Patreon episode. But they seem to be movies that I think people who haven't seen them would enjoy. Or if you saw it at an earlier time, maybe you need to revisit things with further eye from the release. I think there should be a Long Legs re-release, but they cut out the whole last third.
Yeah.
Where everything, just cut it, just make it a cliffhanger. And somebody said, well, she wasn't dumb when she didn't know who was in the basement. She was cursed by the spirit of the dolls, which was controlling her ability to remember. And to that I say, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, you think
It's so
that's
fucking
good?
stupid.
What?
You got
Like, someone tried to say, they're like, no, it was it was like supernatural, and I go, but it was bad.
Yeah, you know why Nicolas Cage killed himself in that scene? Because he saw the rest of the script and said he wasn't going to be in there anymore. I exit the film before it gets to that. Yeah, but you were the
Sorry to people that
mastermind,
like
and you
that
were.
movie, but just
I visually like the marketing I was sold, but I have to like be aware of the fact that as a fan of marketing and publicity and the way you present, preview items for whatever it may be, a product or a movie or a film or a toy or a video game, I will rate things higher than they need to be rated because I liked the way it was marketed and presented to me. But in that instance, sitting in the theater, I remember in the last third of the movie going, what the fuck? What the fuck? And just kind of giggling to myself like, this is so fucking stupid. We brought these life-size dolls of your children to your house with curses in them, and you took them from a gift from the church? Get the fuck out of here. I'm answering the door with a knife if it's a church lady, not because I'm going to do anything, but I need her to know that, like, presenting information to anyone is always a risk, and you should just keep it to yourself. If the information is true and correct and apt, then you don't need magic spells to get me to convince to do it, to sacrifice the virgin girls to the death. All right? That's not very... Hold on, we're having a Lucy moment. We're getting her in. She is happy that you're home and sad that you're having to do something while you're home.
I know.
She's like, I waited all night for you. I will say I'm correct in leaving the door open a little because she's just going to hop up as soon as she hears you. And then I don't have to also. I can just let her go. Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend. You are leaving because you only think I'm second best. That's okay. That's all right. You know? But she is quite the cuddler. And like I said, my arms, I wake up a little sore from it because she's fully tucked like she thinks she's a chihuahua.
Yes.
Around and if I move my arm over, she's not having it.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's her style. That's her game. Go for it, babe. Love it. Bebop always is he's in the legs. He's in between the legs facing out. And then when Lucy leaves, that's when he'll finally go onto the covers because he doesn't have to guard us anymore. Mm-hmm. Our weak, incapable bodies. He doesn't have to guard us further. Are you ready?
Yeah. What are we? Okay, hang on. I do have an apology from Heather here.
Oh.
Says I had a joke about chemistry, but I don't think it'll get a reaction.
Oh, come on. 2025. I'm here for it. Heather, thank you. I was concerned for a second. It's the setup that just is making me falter. Okay. I don't know what to say. I got to put these new flights in. Now, are we ready to do it? The math of the year?
Yeah.
This is functionally stupid. That's what I'm going to say. I'm embarrassed a little of it. 2025, one flight. 2025 total, 1 flight. Okay? And 1 airline. Let's go. Let's look at the complete year of Effie traveling on planes in 2024. Is that interesting to you, Peter? Or is it only interesting to me because it makes me so sad? Okay? I have the complete. This is the first year I've ever been able to do it in entire completeness. The math and the dreams of the Flighty passport. Now, I'm not urging anyone else to pay for the service, but it is the service that tells me fastest what the fuck is going on with my flights. And it is the service that tells me fastest when I'm delayed, when I'm changed, when I'm not going to make it home. And I love that. And I love being able to keep up with it. Total flights for the year, Peter, 162. I tweeted too early and I thought it had added my other flights. It had not. 162, not 160. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and this is where we're going to be completing the math at the same time. If you pick a day, that's a 44% rate that I will be flying that day, which is like 1 out of 2, which doesn't make sense because it wasn't every 2 days I was flying. It was multiple flights in those days, but it averages out in that way to be 1 flight every 2.25 days. Does that make sense?
Sorry, Lucy is trying to.
She's my new co-host.
Take me away from. Okay, baby.
All right. Now the total distance came out to being 6.8 times around the world. The circumference of the Earth as a globe. Is that what you call it? Circumference of the circle?
Yeah.
6.8 times around the world. That's 168,699 miles. Now let's divide that by the days in the year. That's 462.18 miles per day, which means if you average out to the total down to the hour, I, at any moment, just including plane travel, I didn't include all the car trips, I didn't include all the train rides, didn't include all the Ubers, the taxis, all these other forms of travel, 19.25 miles per hour. She is right up on the microphone. At any given hour. My average speed across the year at any given hour, I was always constantly traveling at 19.25 miles per hour. How many airports did I visit last year? 48 airports. How many airlines did I use? 13 different airlines. Now, can you name 13 airlines?
American Airlines, British Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Spirit Airlines. Let's see, Hawaii Airlines.
Yeah.
KLM.
Yep. That's Saudi Arabia, right?
No, that's like Netherlands.
Oh, okay. It's the same thing.
Let's see. You've got what is the Emirates airline?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh God. I can't name.
I'm going to add Frontier United Delta. Okay. I'm also going to add Porter Airlines and Flair Airlines and JetBlue Airlines. There's a few more of that. There's a lot of airlines. So 13 only and 48 airports. 48 airports I think is interesting. The total amount of flight time over the course of the year was 19 days and 5 hours.
Oof.
19 days and 5 hours. That's just the time in the air. That's not the time at the airport. That's not security. That's not all of those other things. And then here's what is really, this really made me almost retire, right? Immediate. Like you've got to rethink. You've got to always be thinking. And I want to maximize the efficiency of my work as Effie. We're getting cucked by the spirits today, aren't we?
I don't know what. It's fine. I think Mercury is still in Sag, which is a problem.
That's me sucking on a milkshake. Here's what I'm saying. Hours lost from delays, Peter. This is what really made me go, what am I doing? 36 hours of my life this year were just delays.
God.
Just delays. And that number jumped up 6 hours on the last part of the year because getting home from Seattle this weekend, I made it to Charlotte and then had a quick layover that turned into 6 hours of delay. So nice way to end the year. I really, at the end of the year, and I think it really is, something that's been a test. Not only did I have a lot of bad flights and flight delays, but I was scammed on the last day of the year. The very last day of the year, I was scammed. Now, Peter, how does this happen, right? Well, I have a lot of different accounts for business, a lot of online accounts for business, and they logged in, schemed my ship station, upgraded me to 1,000 packages a month, then started ripping my debit card for $500 recharges and managed to send over 200 packages. Now, my bank did not inform me of the charges until the fourth one was hitting my account for $500. Where they said, are you? Turns out they had attempted it 8 times. They'd gotten in. The card's already logged to the account. I imagine what they're doing is doing like direct mail things and then slipping in and then changing this and then sending all their stuff. And the woman, I called her with the bank. She didn't set everything right. I called ShipStation. They didn't save everything right because I called them again yesterday. It's still a mess. I'm still missing it all. They still just put the report through. And she said, good news. I said, oh, good. She said, we voided all of the postages. I went, so do I get my money back? And they go, no. But they're not going to be able to send those packages. And I went, I don't care. This is good news for you. It sounds like you guys got your money back.
Yeah.
Where's my money?
Yeah.
And of course, it being the last day of the year, and then me taking a weekend off this weekend going, you know what? I'm going to just rest and be good. And now I'm going, there's $2,000 of my dollars after paying most of the bills that I do not have access to. And then the best part is they were hitting my account with overdrafts for the $500 charges. And I went, yeah, this is a problem too. And they go, well, they'll take care of it all at once. And I go, okay, but why isn't there the ability to just go like, hey, you put this through, you put it in. If you're wrong, if we find out you're wrong, we're going to come take it all back. But they should cover that kind of right away. Mm-hmm. And I think this is where and I'm not making this a big political thing because it's dumb, but most of America is at the place now where we expect all the corporate entities to fuck us. We expect things to be not what you say they're going to be. And at what point do we just start warning the humans that work at these places, like we're just going to burn the business down? I'm not saying you should do this. I'm saying this is all theoretical. This is all coming from a fake character who's saying this. But like at what point, you saw the video of the guy driving the car back through the dealership window because they sold him a car that was not what he told. And then he said, well, I'm returning it. And they go, well, we're not taking it. And he goes, okay. And they just drove through the window and they're like, well, he was arrested. Guess what, y'all? Do you think an arrest would really mess my life up right now? It sounds like it might. It might mess your life up for a second because you're going, where is he? But like, I don't know, 3 meals a day. They got ESPN. I'm already into some prison-esque activities. I'm not even saying what they could be. But like, no problem for me. I got nowhere to go. You know, the dog, I'm worried about the dog. But I think they let you have dogs in jail now, right? They don't?
I don't know if they
burn down the jails.
Your dog.
Burn down the jails. Oh, you're saying I could be a pup? I don't know. And this is me just rambling and being dumb. And I speak too much in the moment. I've realized it where, you know, these things are coming across in permanent airwave form or MP3s, and it will be available and accessible as long as the digital internet is still moving. But I'm pretty sure most of the internet's fake. I don't think a lot of these people are real. Everything's starting to turn to AI. Meta is bragging about having AI accounts. And it's like, this is where I'm like, yeah, you know, Republicans are wrong about everything, but we are some dumbass tryhards, because one of the first Meta profile accounts they made was for a black queer single mom. And I go, yeah, that we should be supporting on helping and providing opportunities and making things easy for black queer single moms. I do not need to hear from a fake idea of any type of person. If somebody was like, well, I'm actually a mechanic from Iowa and I'm an AI, I'd be like, well, I don't care what you think either. None of you are real. How are you a black queer single mom and you're a robot AI? What did you birth? What are you birthing? Ideas? But I think we're going to figure this out more and more. You have to be careful. And here's the number one thing we have to do, right? We have to communicate with each other as people in person. And we have to stop going onto websites and thinking anything we're being told is real. It's all fucking fake. Walk outside and talk to your neighbors. All right? It's not that crazy out there like they're telling you. We don't all hate each other. We all have different opinions on things. And the internet will not tell you that. The people who you're seeing creating this rage bait and creating anger and creating divisiveness are, turns out, fucking robots, because the divisiveness is making us talk more, which is what pays the bills for these fucking idiot billionaires. Go talk to your neighbors. I don't know where this sprung out of, but it's just like, I'm at a place where I'm sensing a lot of frustration in the world. When I see people freaking out at businesses now, I just want to go like give them a hug. It used to be like I make fun of you, but now I'm like, nah, they're probably fucking on us. They fuck on everybody. Let's get it out of our system. We should kick over bookshelves sometimes if they don't listen to us at Walmart, right? Guess what, Walmart employee? It's not an attack on you. Just like the more disruption we can cause now, the less their profit margins will be. I'm not advocating for any of this. This is all fake. This is all. But yeah, so I spent 19 days in the air. Do you think they tell you that like unless you're in it for a long time, the scan things at the airport won't affect you because it's such a low amount of radiation. But do you think if you're doing it multiple times every 2 days, that it could affect my brain? Also, do you think existing that high?
That's not the radiation. The radiation to worry about is when you're in the plane.
Oh, yeah. Even better. Do you think the pressurized air is making my brain function at a different rate or level? Because I think that being in weird pressurized air has like fucked up my equilibrium a little bit. Also, I just like, you want to see my number one way of sleeping on a plane? And I wish it wasn't this. It's not leaned back. It's not bent over the thing. It's this. Just head forward. Never good for my neck. And I wonder, was it the power bomb? No, was it doing a power bomb and then sitting in the worst neck position of your life for 6 hours with 2 of them being just on a runway with the air off? Just putting my body through the suffering. This is why I need you. If you come up to me to get a picture, please give me some money. I'm suffering to be there, and I need money, and I need to fight people. And 2025, I might get like Joey Janela suggested it, but it's just like a museum box. So you just roll me out in the middle of a room and people can come up to it for a while. And then you just roll me back out when it's time and it's out of my control and it's time to party. This is why I needed a weekend off this weekend. Like I definitely need to like go work and make money because they took $2,000 from me, the fucking schemers. But I also need to not be this person forever. So maybe it'll solve itself. Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a time. Now, I did before this go to Seattle. I want to say this. I was in Portland. I was in the airport of Portland twice in the last couple of weeks, and I was in Portland. And Portland itself is haunted in a little way, but the only city that I can think of that is as spiritually densely fogged and haunted, and not just because there's fog. I mean, like, there's a vibe, is Seattle. And I think of it as an opposite New Orleans in a sense, because it's like, I almost think that there's so much old energy there, and then the energy of, I think, indigenous nations and settlers of before that has just stayed and trickled around into itself. And then, of course, there are very public, issues with drugs in the area that, it's very difficult to deal with. But like that whole thing hanging over it, it just feels like there's an energy it makes me a little queasy the whole time I'm there. And it's beautiful and lovely. And like, I really enjoy every time I'm there, but I also like, I don't know what it is, but there's like this little, like I can sense it, the spirits of it. We got to get you to New Orleans. I keep saying this. God, what are we doing? How do we get there?
We'll get there. All
right. You're right. I can't be, but I think like, at this point I'm looking at this, right. And I'm thinking back and reflecting on how many places I've been this year, in Seattle, I'm there and I'm going, really? They're not giving me a travel show? They should see my schedule and just be reaching out to fucking do it. Because yeah, I landed at noon. We had time to hit at least 2 or 3 weird places. You would have had your Seattle episode. So whatever y'all are doing, producing TV, I'm not wrestling on TV. All right. My wrestling's not for that. My wrestling is for people who come and want to see live, athletic, fighting, burlesque performance art, and they can come see it. I don't give a fuck what you think about that. Go rate your stars. This is my art. This is it. But the TV version of me is the version that is bringing you into this fucking frantic world. Also, I'm going to go to the doctor, and I think we're going to get like as much Vyvanse as we can because I definitely need it. But like you said, it'll make me a robot. And then I think we're finally going to get on the Amazing Race. The problem is the two people that I would win the Amazing Race with, the two absolute tops, and this is of no offense to you, but these are people I can just scream at and not feel bad about it. Is Allie or Mance Warner. They're the only two psychos from my past where I would actually be able to win the Amazing Race because they are pure psychopaths who, like, if they got hit or punched in the face or lost or confused, would scheme any way they had to scheme to win the Amazing Race. And if I had just like a full legal prescription of some kind of Adderall type substance, that's $1 million to me. Now, what am I giving up with that? The whole world would fucking hate me when I was done with the Amazing Race, because if the objective is to win and not win the hearts of millions, then I would just like put through the suffering and make the dreams come to truth. And yeah, that nice like couple of moms from Minnesota, I would double check them and turn them around and give them problems. And I would not help you make your flight. And I would run through airports like I've never done it before. There's when you go to New York City, people know how to walk through the city and they know how to walk around tourists. And I think I'm like an even higher level of that because I've been in every major metropolitan anywhere, and I've been in every airport anywhere. And I'm a large person. I can just fucking scheme through, and I got long legs, and I can find my patient moment, and I can find my skirt and cut, and I can excuse me from a distance, but I'm already gone. And if that was to put itself into the Amazing Race, what are we going to do but win? They'd have to start editing things and asking me like, would you go like 2 hours late so it looks like they were competing? And I'd go, yeah, no problem. Not. And then I would win even more. They'd have to go ahead and get somebody at the end of it who was there days early, because I've already just like done all the tasks. And I'd be like, here's who you make the mill out to. But the problem is you win a mill with another person. After taxes, you're all walking away with about $185,000 each, is my guess. Mm-hmm. Prize taxes, split taxes, costs associated, accounting fees. And you know what? Great. Give me $183,000 for ruining my reputation, and I'll do it on the Amazing Race. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe it's more than that, but now that I'm thinking about it, you know, the real mistake was ever being a public figure, because at this point I could have been robbing grocery stores, and that would have been like, you wouldn't have any legacy and I wouldn't have any reputation, but also, I don't know, like might have some hidden mattress money. I don't even have that right now. You know what I got under my mattress? Pictures of myself in various merchandise forms. Great. You fucking psychopath, egotistical narcissist. Imagine explaining, like, you just walk into my house and you see my room and you go, why is there so much shit and why is there so many pictures of you? And I go, oh, because I'm a public figure. And it goes, looks like you're a public figure to your fucking self. That's what it looks like. Weirdo bitch. I'm calling myself that. And it's not even gender related. It's like, I'm just like, that's what I am. Did you watch all of Night, bitch?
No.
Was it not good?
No, it wasn't the time to watch it.
I love Amy Adams. I just want to tell her she's great, no matter if the script is bad. It's like Steven Dorff. And we tried to watch, I tried to show you clips from the Chainsaw movie that I got halfway through. I still couldn't tell you what it's really about, but they like Alec Baldwin. He's got a chainsaw, which it seems like the wrong thing to give Alec Baldwin. I wouldn't give him anything with a point or a shoot or a wick of light. Yeah, I got a little lost in the weeds here, but here's the deal. Went to Seattle. I got to tell you a funny conversation I had about the match I was going to have with Marcus Mathers that night. Marcus Mathers recently just became the WWE ID, he's on the WWE ID. And then he more recently became the independent wrestling IWTV champion, like on New Year's Eve. And before that, he had to face EFFY. And we were kind of, discussing what kind of fight we would like to have as competitors. And he made a suggestion, and I said, hey, Mark, the guy who runs WWE ID does not like me, okay? Gabe Sapolsky. And he's allowed to not like me because I think he's a loser, and that's fine. Like, it's just like objectively whatever. But if you're going to be in the position where you're going to be in a ring with EFFY, we have to do everything possible to not make trouble for you, Right, Mark? Like, these are conversations I'm going to have to continue having with people who are coming to me and wanting to have a fun Effie match and not thinking further. And I go, here's the thing. Right now, I am already an enemy of the state to the other company that you're not even talking about. And then the guy running the program to get you on WWE also dislikes me. Okay. And we are going to have a very sick match. But there are certain things that they are looking for me to do or fuck up or present or image-based, permanence of us together create a controversy that we cannot do. And so it's not that I'm censoring myself for myself, but I am presenting and structuring my matches differently in these situations to make sure that nobody can look and go like, oh, he blew his opportunity at somewhere else too. And this is becoming a little frustrating because I don't want my friends to get hurt. I don't want my friends to miss money. But I also am Effie. And guess what, motherfucker? The world knows about Effie. And if you're going to use Effie against Effie, you can try, but it doesn't work. But if you're going to use Effie against someone else, then you know what? For their sake, I will give you the Effie you need to get. But I want to say this. If I had not had that conversation, if I had not changed the match, I probably wouldn't have done one of the coolest spots, which is him kicking me in the head, then trying to jump off the top of the rope, and I catch this motherfucker out of the air. Now, I've wrestled Marcus Mathers many times, and he's like putting on muscle now, and he's getting older. He's still like 21, but it's like, like there's the boy to man, like you can be an 18, 19-year-old and be like technically an adult, but no, you're not. Like you still have a little boy chest, it's like... But now he's putting on the muscle, he's getting bigger, but he's always been heavier than he looks. And I don't know if it's a thing he's in control of. One time he gave me a 450 and landed on my face, and I thought I was physically going to look different for the rest of my life. But he now weighs more than that, and he was heavy to me then, and he jumped out of the air, and I caught that boy out of midair, and I got to tell you, that felt awesome. Felt more awesome than making a little silly moment or having a funny joke. Like I've said, not a comedy wrestler. I just don't take a lot of people seriously. And because of that, much like a hyena, I play with my food, if you get the drift. But in this case, I was down to business and we got things done. And if you haven't seen that match, the problem with the West Coast shows is like an 8 p.m. start time, which is pretty standard for GCW, sometimes 7 p.m. depending on the place. If you're East Coast, that's 11 p.m. at night that it's starting. And I was pretty early in the evening. I think I was actually first match, which is great. A lot of people have, early flights and places to be. It's still hard for people to get to tune into that as a start time of 11 p.m. I get that. 8 p.m. East Coast start time, great. But 5 p.m. on the West Coast, they're at dinner, they're at work. They're not tuning in right away. So we want to give them that 8 p.m. start time sometimes. Go watch this match. It's fucking awesome. I had so much fun. We beat the shit out of each other. It was exciting. And it's got me thinking about how my in-ring work is going to change over the next year. It's got me thinking about new ideas, new things I'm trying, new stuff I'm doing. And, after that, I got in a big fight with Allie after she tried to kill she killed a referee and then tried to kill Viva Van after the match was really falling apart. And I ran in there and, put things to her. I just want to say this. There were some people who were saying that they didn't like our remake of a Fry Takayama spot. And I just want to say nobody gives a shit about either of those two people. Not that they don't care about them as a person, but let me be clear. That's like coming in to today's NCIS episode that just released today and going, it's not even a good version of when they did a similar thing on Columbo. That's what you sound like. No offense to these gentlemen who are fighting, but when you're comparing me to these things or saying I didn't do this spot correctly like these guys did, I'm just going to say, who, girl? Who? The rule Vince McMahon put, and he's a bad person, but he said, people don't genuinely remember anything that happened on the same program from 7 years ago. Right? Like it's like the refresh of your cells, the rehash of it. And I would almost break that down to like 3 years. Like I could tell you about things that happened in 2022 right now. And you'd go, nah, I don't think that's happened anytime recently, or I don't remember this happening. That would be your vibe. So once again, no offense to those two gentlemen or no offense to any other people in spots. Have you never seen a woman and a gay man fight over a closeted bro who's a bisexual and they've got to fight about their love over it? Now, Billy Dixon is who brought this to my attention, but I have to be honest. Girl, I was beating her head. I was headbutting her in the middle of it too. And I just want to say, if you don't like the spots I'm doing, keep talking about me. I don't give a fuck. I think that's beautiful. I'm going to try some new things though. And some of those new things include whatever I want. So if you want to talk about me, that's wonderful. But the thing about talkers is this: talkers talk about things that have been done, and doers do things and then talk about what they've done. So not only as a doer are you also a talker, but as a talker, you can never be a doer, and you don't exist without doers who also talk. So enjoy the fact that you get to talk about anything. That's what I'll say. After that, though, I said, I'm done with this. I'm out of it. I'm leaving it. I didn't have a red eye, but I had a pretty early flight the next day. Got a little food, went to the hotel. Seattle was chill. Caught my flight. Oh, it's early, but I'm still like West Coast to East Coast. I'm still going to be home kind of late. And I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And I got a short layover. No, I sat in the airport for 6 hours in Charlotte, which is, I like the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, right? But the airport there reminds me every time that where did it get to?
Like just the literal last thing.
If I had chosen the path where I had let's say I could control my urges sexually for men, and I had formed a family and had children, I just look around that airport a lot at some of these guys walking around, and if they're not gay, they're looking at me going, I wish I could have just been gay, because they just got to lug around these children. The wives are yelling at them. Everything is rough, and I'm sure it's rough for the wives too. They should be yelling at these husbands, but good God, this life doesn't seem good at all. And maybe it is for people. I think that's great. My brother has a beautiful baby and they love it. But the fact that you're traveling around with children, I couldn't do it. More power to you. Like, you have more strength than I ever could. This is not the life I chose. And it still sucks that I'm only having to worry about me and I'm in this situation. I cannot imagine the torture you're going through. I will never choose that torture. And once again, I don't want anything that looks like me. I have to shout out Auntie Collins, who got that beautiful thigh tattoo of my prayer candle art. It put a little flutter in my spirit. And I told her the same thing I tell everybody who gets an EFFY tattoo, which is they're going to say whatever they want about EFFY, but please trust, I'm never going to do anything that's making you going to regret that you have a tattoo of me. That's my promise to you. I might rob a corporation. I'm not doing a Luigi, no chance, but wink, wink. But I'm never going to do anything where you're like, that's such despicable behavior from him that I couldn't bear to stand it. I think we have a lot of the similar beliefs. People who get EFFY tattoos have, certain things that they'd be like, yeah, that's not not paying the hospital is not a crime. Fuck hospitals. They shouldn't be paid like that anyway. And you go, well, it's the insurance. It's this, it's that. No, I might do that crime, never pay that bill, but I'm not going to steal from the poor. I'm not going to abuse anybody's consent. I'm not going to try to abuse my power. I do want to say to everyone that in that same regard, I am going to be a little bit more cunty this year. And I just want to not be rude about this, but I have to say this. In regards to the return of Big Gay Brunch in Las Vegas at the Palms Casino in the Pearl Theater, which is a 2,500 cap theater, which is the size of fucking Hammerstein, which will be hosting many shows during the collective. I need you to know that right now, in this current moment, as I am preparing for Hammerstein, as I am preparing to fight my former tag partner, as I'm preparing to fight Mance Warner, as I am preparing for the largest show that I've had in 3 years, as I'm preparing for the legacy I leave behind when I do become the champion of GCW, and am finally a real talk piece when they say the GCW champion said this crazy stuff, at least they'll know that I am the champion. If you're messaging me in any way right now about Big Gay Brunch, I'm not mad about it. I'm not yelling. I'm not going to book you. I'm not doing it. There will be no response from me. We will reach out to you. I do not need to hear that you'll be in Vegas. They will all be in Vegas. I have to sell 2,000 tickets to a show. And if you are saying this is your big chance to step out, we've had this conversation every year. No offense to you. Find a way on my radar that isn't telling me you exist. Find a way on my radar through being entertaining. Find a way on my radar through working a lot of shows throughout the year and continuing to get better and continuing to do your best. I owe you nothing. The world owes you nothing. We have provided so many opportunities. I'm putting on the sickest gay show of all time. If you're not included, that doesn't mean you're not sick. But once again, we'll reach out to you. There are so many people messaging me in December and now in January about WrestleMania already. And I need you to understand that in January alone, I have probably 10 events before I'm even getting to February, where I probably have another 10 to 15 events, where I'm getting to March, where I probably have another 20 events, and then I'm getting to April, where I have 2 weeks of events before I go to Las Vegas to have this week of events. Do you understand that speaking to me now in any capacity will not have anything, any hold on my brain, because I have other things happening? Guess what? I'll book it when I book it. I'll book who I want to book, and love you all. Please do not reach out. Please do not tell me. I'm going to be reaching out to people who are sick and who need to be on the show and who can help me sell these tickets and who have worked very hard over the last few years to build reputations and build magic. And that's all it is. Yeah. And I hope people are excited. We're going to have tickets on sale eventually, and hope you come. And that's it. If you really want to be on the show, I've said this before, it sounds like a dick. I sound like a dick today to start the year. Welcome to 2025. I'm a little frustrated. 100% you can guarantee your spot on the show, because we're going to need paid audience members. And by paid, I mean you can buy a ticket, you'll be on the screen and the audience. So do that, because we need to sell so many tickets. I gotta figure out how to get this. I think I have to do me versus Matt Damon. Like, I've been holding off on pulling the trigger. We only going to have a few weeks of build. GCW championship match, Big Gay Brunch, Big Gay EFFY versus Matt Damon, and he's the straight evil one, and he's going to try to defeat me. I think that's how we sell it out. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Yeah, so if you're of the caliber of Matt Damon, please reach out to me. And if you're not, keep it to yourself or run your own gay shows. It's going to be a big, marvelous celebration, but it is not something, I'm presenting this to create my boundary publicly right now. I'm not booking you right now. I'm not answering you right now. I don't want to see your resume right now. I literally am one of the top position wrestlers in the world. You can argue with your fucking mom about that. I don't care. I am on a legacy run to become the champion. I'm about to have one of the sickest championship runs of all time. And you'll be there if you need to be there. And if you don't, that's fine. And if you give up, that's on you. Okay? I never gave up. You can't see me, John Cena. John Cena's going to be there. Probably not. But, you know, like, he could watch the stream. There's no proof he didn't watch the stream. Whatever. This is why I'm pissed. New Year's Eve, I had to go out there and like tell my story again. This is the second time I've been booked in fucking Ridgefield Park at the Mecca by GCW where I haven't had a match. And it's fine. It's good. As I've been told, Seth Rollins doesn't wrestle on every Raw, but he probably should. But I was a little pissy. And then your girl tried to fuck up my night. You know, obviously I have to beat Allie to get to Mance Warner. And she tried to pile drive me. And I speared the hell out of that woman. She did get away. And I think, you know, am I a good guy? Am I a bad guy? I don't care anymore. Because when I've tried to be a good guy, some people thought I was a bad guy. When I've tried to be a bad guy, some people thought I was a good guy. So really, I'm just going to be myself. And myself includes, like, I'm pissed at her. I'm done with her. It's like, it's so fucking tired to have to like be in the middle of doing something and then have to go like, but what about me? Which was the whole problem was, what about me? And then I include you in the tag team. I bring you everywhere. I book you everywhere. I do everything with you. And what do I get for that? Oh, what about me? How about like, what about you help me with my problems? So I have more problems than you. So I'm a bigger target than you. So I got to deal with these people. But like also like, you're just adding to my list. Like, girl, you're just adding to my list. If you know anything, you know my list is too long. It's been too long for years. I've got too long of a list, and you want to add to it, and you think it's going to be met admirably, or with politeness, or with ooh, I believe in myself. No, girl, like it's like I got to put the fucking meat on you. Like I'm done. I'm all over the place today. Whatever. New Year's Eve, terrible. Just had to go. Flew into Philly. Flew out of Philly. Had to drive back and forth in New Jersey. It is what it is. But you know what? End of the year, I'm reflecting. We're having a time. I'm about to be a diva all over the place. I'm about to have demands. I'm not compromising. I don't care. I don't like need to do your show. So like, if you want me there, like you say yes, or like, that's it. Like it doesn't like if you message me back, hey, you have this date. And I'm like, yeah, here's what you do. And they go, oh, well, could you do this? No, I'm not even answering. I'm not even answering the message. You can return and tell me yes. But like, we're not negotiating anymore. I'm EFFY. Electric Fantastic, fuck you. That's the end. Fuck you. So it's not Electric Fantastic. Could we work out a deal together to make it happen? I'm very busy and I'm very tired. And if I take 162 flights this year and make the amount of money I made, that's ignorant, and I'm not doing that. So pay it or I'm going to stay home, and I'm going to talk more on the podcast, and I'm going to do more fun streams, and I'm going to start filming, like music videos to Celine Dion songs to get over. That's the only thing that's kept me peaceful this week, is Alienette. You know about Alienette? Okay, well, she's a blind French girl with the voice of an angel, and she's actually the only thing that is keeping my spirit alive. Let's look at it. Let's look at Alienette. I'm going to play you an Alienette song, and I need people to understand I'm a pretty cynical person, right? And that comes from just, I don't even want to say it's more experience, but I think you and I both have thought too much thoughts. You know, have you ever met somebody and you're like, oh, you're like 12,000 thoughts away from me. Like, that's not good. We probably can't have a conversation. Let's pull up the lovely Alienette, and people can't believe the miracle of her voice, because she can sound like anyone, and it's beautiful. I'm trying to find one of the higher up ones. Let's get it up. She's going to hit these notes. Can you hear this? She does them all. She does so many good Celine songs, and then she'll do opera too. We're gonna watch Alienette together later. If you're on TikTok, before they get rid of it, download all the Alienette videos so you can lay in your bed and cry in the morning for an hour, hearing how beautiful her overcoming these things is. You know what? We're calling this podcast the end of cynicism. Okay, it's over. Right? I've said all my piece. I've said all the things. People are listening to this one and they're going, he's in a bad mood. Yeah. That's how I feel. Okay. I'm coming to your town. I'm coming to your city. I need $20. I need $30. I need $50. If you're going to talk to me, I love you all, but I can't do it for free anymore. I'm out here. I love you. Buy the merch, follow your heart, tell your story. And I've got to focus on one thing, which is just effing. Effy's got to F. Let me F. Right? And many of you have been so supportive and so lovely and so awesome. And many of you are listening to this with the intention of trying to catch me in a gotcha. And I don't care. Gotcha. Here's what you got. Too much time on your fucking hands. Okay? Now, go tell Melters or whatever his fucking name is that I don't care, that it's not a work or it's a shoot or it's a fucking thing. And then guess what? We're moving on. I'll be in Rochester, New York against Atticus Cogar on January 10th. It's my return to the ring. I am somehow booked in a clusterfuck of a tag match with Mance, which I'm just not doing. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in Columbus. I'm not fucking doing that. Then I'll be at Fest Wrestling on that Sunday in Florida for their return to regular shows throughout the year. In Gainesville, I think it's at 8 Second Saloon. And then the week after that, I will be, of course, in AIW on the 17th. The 18th I have off. I'm figuring it out as far as what I'm going to do with my day off. Not that I'm coming to your place. And then the 19th, Hammerstein, New York City. Big moment. We'll be there. And then the week after that, I go to France for the first time with BZW versus GCW. And then I will be in London on that Sunday after the 26th against Cara Noir, who I've wanted to wrestle for a very long time. And that's all I got to say about that right now. We have time in between. We have things to figure out. I have a lot on my plate. And I have a little more rest before I get to the stuff on my plate. Peter, do you have anything to add?
I really don't.
No! You have to add one thing.
What do I have to add?
Just like, what's the worst movie you saw this year?
The Long Legs.
You don't have to call the podcast the end of cynicism. That sounds misleading. You can call it Sharkcutlery. I don't care. I don't care what you call it. I trust your vision.
Sharkcutlery.
Sharkcutlery. Is it Sharkcutlery? Sharkcutlery.
Sharkcutlery.
What if it was Sharku, like Shamu, but it's a shark? All right, we got rid of the killer whales. We now have sharks. This is Sharku. And if you go in the Sharku cage, you die. That's it. And then people wouldn't try to sneak in. Even though it's a killer whale? Or is that considered a slur now?
A killer whale?
Yeah, you have to call it orca because they're going to sink more cruise ships.
Let's wrap this up.
Goodbye.